Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say what? How would you know it's a Saturday tonight? Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the show. Say what? As you can see that. Happy International Women's Day to all the lovely women out there. The ones, who are just so resilient, hardworking, always try to become better women. I really salute you today. It is our day. Na hadi midnight. Yani bado tunaweza ringa. So happy International Women's to all of us right here in Kenya and across our borders. It's going to be a fantastic show. Tonight, of course, we're celebrating women. And that's why, man, I had to do something a bit extra. So I really hope you had a fantastic day. Well, if you're a woman, I really hope that somebody, sent you a nice message, maybe some chocolates, maybe some flowers. I hope that happened to you today. So we'll be having Pastor Sue. Do you remember her? Twa, twa, twa. So she's going to be joining us here today. And it's because we really salute her as a woman who's just very confident and very enthusiastic about life. She's going to be with us here right here in studio with Dr. Ofweneke. Ofweneke, unajua tunamjua kama ule mtu ambaye anateteanga haki za wanawake. And also we'll be speaking to the one and only Honorable Millie Odhiambo on phone just to wish all of us a happy International Women's Day. Let's begin the show with the highlights. Wafula Chebukati's family reveal of a plot to assassinate him to stop him from announcing the 2022 presidential election results.
That's how he got to Bomas. The rest, and you saw. For me, that was divine intervention. Because he came home and he said, I saw somebody point a gun at me.
On a day which saw the former IEBC chief laid to rest at his Kiminini constituency home.
This Wafula Chebukati, if he was another person, we wouldn't be having the Kenya as we know it today.
We tell you why President William Ruto and Raila Odinga cooperation pact faces a historical test. Will they overcome the handshake curse in Kenyan politics?
So this is just to buy time, to read the mood, to test the waters before they do what they finally intend to do.
And on this International Women's Day, we highlight the plight of female political aspirants as they fight for their rights to vie for political office.
The experience was not good because these are things I didn't experience previously. It really affected me as a person. It affected my family members.
Well, thank you so much for joining us right here on the show tonight. Our sign language interpreter is the lovely Catherine Simaloi, and of course, happy International Women's Day to you too. Now, let's begin our coverage tonight. And in a heartfelt tribute, on Saturday, the family of former IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati disclosed a chilling plot to assassinate him. Now, the plan aimed at preventing him from announcing the 2022 presidential election results was revealed during his emotional send-off at his Kiminini constituency home. While Stanley Nyaringita reports on the solemn day that marked the final farewell to the former IEBC chief. Take a look.
As the country awaited the results of the March contested 2022 general elections, then chairperson and the returning officer of the presidential election, Wafula Chebukati, was a man constantly looking over his shoulder. It is now emerging that unknown people wanted to end Chebukati's life to prevent him from announcing the presidential results, a situation that had the entire family fear for his life.
Mama Mary, together with, of course, the children.
According to Chebukati's daughter, emotions ran high on the 15th of August 2022 as his father was making his way to Bomas of Kenya to announce the results, as the family thought that was the last time they would see him alive. Chebukati even shed a tear, something that she admits she never saw him do.
I had never seen my dad cry. My dad shed a tear. So I said bye to him and I said, whatever it is, we will stand by you.
According to Chebukati's wife, it took the intervention of religious leaders who prayed for Chebukati before he left for the Bomas of Kenya.
I offered them tea so that I could delay them a little because my husband had come in early in the morning. He had taken a rest and I needed him he was still dressing up. And they said, no, we are not sitting. We have prayed, we want to leave.
As the choir belted gospel tunes, a lot was going behind the scenes, with his wife revealing that she made frantic calls after she got information that all was not well. And the situation was worsened by the fact that she could not reach out to him on phone.
I tried to ring him when the fracas was taking place. Even before the fracas, we tried to reach him. We couldn't reach him.
His wife says Chebukati told him that were it not for the swift action by the anti-rat police officers forming a shield around Chebukati as gadgets and other equipment were thrown at him, their worst fears would have been confirmed.
Because he came home and he said, I saw somebody point a gun at me. And I think it was the security that pushed him down.
But it did not end there. It became clear that Chebukati was a marked man, as his wife now reveals that unknown people were visiting his home, posing as his sons who were away during that period. The family's revelations offer a rare glimpse into the personal struggles faced by the former IEBC chair as he navigated one of the most challenging electoral periods in Kenya's history. Chebukati's tenure was marked by high-stakes decisions and intense political pressure, culminating in the dramatic final announcement of the presidential results with a divided commission. Chebukati, who was the first chair of the IEBC to exit after his full 6-year term, presided over 3 presidential elections and continues to receive praise and condemnation depending on who you ask. Stanley Nyeringita, TV47.
All right, we'll be getting back to that top story in a few minutes, but to some unfortunate news. 5 people have tragically lost their lives in a fatal accident along the Kyallo highway this afternoon. Now, the incident occurred when a matatu collided with a motorbike, resulting in the instant deaths of the motorbike passengers. Well, residents in the area are now urging drivers to exercise caution on the highway to help prevent the frequent accidents that have plagued the region.
Mwendo wa saa 7 na dakika 45 hivi, trailer hili ambalo linaonekana pale nyuma linateketezwa lilikuwa natoka upande wa Webuye likielekea Kitale, kukaribia kwenye daraja hili lililoko karibu ya Kiminini, katikati ya Kiminini na Matunda, likakosa mwelekeo na likapita mkono wa pili na kukutana moja kwa moja na waendesha pikipiki wawili ambao walikuwa wanaelekea upande ambao lori imetokea. Lakini la ajabu ni kwamba lori liingia upande wao, lika cross lami, likawaenda nao, likawagonga, likabingiria hadi kwenye mtaro wa kuunganisha daraja.
Na hili tukio limetokea wakati gari lenyewe linajaribu kuovertake na inaenda kwa mkondo ambao si yake. Mimi kiukweli tumeface many challenges, lakini imekuwa hard challenge. Kiukweli mimi naweza omba serikali tuwekee matraffic hapa waweze kutuangalia sana kwa hii daraja. Roli zinapita kwa kasi sana. Yaani hata mtu ya pikipiki anaenda kwa stress, yani anakuwa na more stress.
Hii gari ilikuja kutoka na kule juu, ikakuja ikapoteza brakes, na ilipopoteza brakes ikapata watu wa pikipiki kando kulusi na wale ambao wanauza maji.
Now, former IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati has been remembered as a man of integrity who stood firmly for the truth, always straightforward and unafraid to speak his mind. Well, to his family, he was a loving, honest and supportive father who prioritized their well-being while serving the nation with unwavering dedication. Now, as Paul Kirobi reports, hundreds of mourners gathered at his home in Sabata, Kiminini, Trans Nzoia County to pay their final respects.
A somber mood engulfed Sabata village in Kiminini, Trans Nzoia County during the burial of former IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati. This event brought together members of the political class led by President William Ruto. Chebukati's family eulogized him as a father and a mentor who dedicated his lifetime to see his children growing and becoming successful. What came out was that the firm and few words Chebukati was not the same at home.
It is said that if you think Chebukati is tough and doesn't smile, then you don't know Chebukati. In my formative years, my father instilled in me a sense of responsibilities. While growing up in Nyali together, in Mombasa, he entrusted me with the responsibility of managing staff salaries and other procurement matters.
And his favorite verse was Mark 8:36. And he loved saying that, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" That is a verse he loved.
According to President William Ruto, the former IEBC chair who managed to preside over 3 presidential elections will go down in the books of history as a person who would always put the nation first before anything else.
Kazi ilimpata mwenyewe. Huyu Chebukati discharged his responsibility, constitutional, legal, moral responsibility as chair of IEBC.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi eulogized Chebukati as a person who would always serve people equally without favoring any side.
He never gambled with people's lives. Hakucheza kamare na maisha ya watu.
Speaker of the National Assembly, who is also part of the family, says Chebukati was guided with principles that would speak for his actions.
Fidelity to the law, fidelity to the Constitution.
Chebukati passed on in February after a 21-month battle with glioblastoma. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Now, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's cooperation pact with President William Ruto, popularly known as a handshake, the fourth in his illustrious political career, has raised questions on its survival going by past experiences. Well, save for his handshake with retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, which gave birth to the Azimio coalition, Odinga's previous handshakes with President Daniel Moi and Mwai Kibaki have been rocked with wrangles and an acrimonious exit from the government. Well, Paul Kamau has more.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's fourth handshake with President William Ruto after the two committed themselves to a 10-point MOU once again shone the spotlight on Odinga, who has been christened by some quarters as a king of handshakes, on whether he is ready to stand with Ruto all the way to the ballot in 2027.
Can 2 grown-up men holding such a high office in the land, leading such a major political formations, one of them being the president, can they sit to have an MOU on abductions? So this is just to buy time, to read the mood, to test the waters before they do what they finally intend to do, which is actually work together in a serious merger or cooperation.
Unlike in the past, when the public mood was solidly behind previous handshakes, Odinga's cooperation pact with Ruto faces a litmus test due to public hostility over Ruto's administration's policies, which have been deemed as unpopular, and divisions within Odinga's ODM party over his political pact with Ruto.
The only other way would be if the pressure from the public becomes unbearable. He could quit because of the public. If he sees every support slipping from his fingers, he could reconsider at some point.
As a sign of what lies ahead, pressure to implement the MOU, which puts the youth central in its agenda after last year's 25th June protests, will not be a walk in the park. Youths within ODM, UDA and Tujibebe wa Kenya parties, calling themselves Youth for Broad-Based Government, are demanding to be involved in the MOU and consult their colleagues countrywide, failure to which they will return to the streets.
Parliament, the streets, and political parties. These are our battlegrounds. We refuse to be shut out. We refuse to be used as campaign fuel, only to be discarded when the elections are over.
Hatugoji kupangwa, tumejipanga. We are YBB and we are going to make sure that all the youth in this country are in this movement.
A section of Odinga's allies have, however, defended the political pact, saying it will hold, given the two leaders' political dalliance in the past when they served in the Orange Party, saying it's time for Odinga to return the favor and support Ruto in 2027, amid demands from Odinga's Bondo backyard in Siaya.
With this MOU, I'm sure our president candidate in 2027 is William Samoei Ruto.
Odinga's handshake with Ruto faces the litmus test of history. Can he prove history wrong? In 2002, Odinga led his party NDP and a host of leaders to walk out from President Daniel Moi's KANU following the nomination of Uhuru Kenyatta as KANU's presidential candidate. His tenure during the Grand Coalition government with Moi Kibaki after the 2007 post-election violence was marred by disagreements over power sharing and appointments until Kibaki exited power. His handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta, which gave birth to the Building Bridges initiative, became a cropper after the Supreme Court declared it unconstitutional. Odinga and Uhuru also losing the 2022 presidential election under the Azimio banner. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Thanks, Apollo, for that. Now, a section of rights groups has criticized the handshake between President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, describing it as a significant threat to the country's democracy. As Samira Mohammed reports, these pressure groups have accused the political class of exploiting the human rights agenda to secure positions in government for their own selfish interests.
The political class is once again in the eye of storm, one day after President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga signed their cooperation pact to formalize their broad-based government.
They don't care about the families that no longer have breadwinners. All they care about is their political survival.
The new deal signed before allies and former rivals compels the government to respect the constitution and the rule of law, and an end to abductions witnessed after the Gen Z protest. Extrajudicial killings and the right to free speech also forms part of the deal. The MOU also compels the government to allow Kenyans to hold demonstrations and grant amnesty to arrested Kenyans.
We do not expect anything meaningful to be done by any coalition. And Kenyans do not trust politicians. Politicians are very good at rhetoric, empty words, but we know for sure even those points that they've laid out in the Memorandum of Understanding will not be effected in any way.
The rights groups have slammed the collaboration between the government and opposition, terming it a serious threat to Kenya's democracy.
Signs are very clear that they will not in any way end abductions. If anything, the situation will get worse now, because now we also have the political opposition working in tandem with the government of the day to commit these atrocities. So Kenyans must brace themselves, prepare for the worst from this political memorandum of understanding.
The pressure groups have warned Kenyans to brace themselves for more human rights violation by the government, including abductions, police brutality and extrajudicial killings.
This pact, this memorandum of understanding will place Kenya in a worse human rights situation. We will see more extrajudicial killings now. We will see more abductions happening because there is absolutely no political opposition.
Samira Mohammed for TV47, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has defended the broad-based government arrangement, emphasizing that every region deserves development, while he reiterated his commitment to ensuring equity across all regions and urged Kenyans to support the initiative. Now, according to Ruto, the current agreement between himself and the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga presents an opportunity for Kenya to move beyond tribalism. Now, the president also dismissed calls by leaders to introduce vetting for Kenyans in the northeastern region to obtain identification cards. Now, he insisted that all Kenyans, regardless of their region, must be treated equally.
I will never be part of any policy that categorizes Kenyans into different categories. Siwezi na nilisema wakati nimechaguliwa ya kwamba tutaweka uwiano wa Wakenya, umoja ya Wakenya, usawa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Hatuwezi kuendelea na mambo ambayo inagawanya wananchi katika viwango viwili. Ati kuna Wakenya wanapata vitambulisho kwa hali moja, alafu kuna Wakenya wengine wanapata vitambulisho kwa kiwango kingine. That is unacceptable, it is undemocratic, it is unconstitutional, it is illegal. And we cannot continue with that kind of parochialism. Hatuwezi kusema jamii fulani ni wagaidi. Wagaidi ni wahalifu. Na tumeona katika uhalifu kwamba haina kabila. Unakuta pale katika wahalifu wamepatikana kuna watu wa makabila zote. So I want to tell the people of Kenya that they will never again be discriminated against in the issuance of IDs on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their ethnicity, or on the basis of the region they come from.
Mimi naomba kabisa usaidie hapo, tusirudi huko tena. Hatusemi kwamba Wasomali wasipewe kitambulisho. Hii mambo ya mipaka yote. Tunasema our local people within Kenya njia patikana kupata vitambulisho haraka. Ili wageni nao wasipate nini? Vitambulisho. Lakini la muhimu, Your Excellency, baada ile mambo ilifanyika jana, watu kuja pamoja, mimi ningependa sasa focus kwa vijana kidogo, and the first present za kuwapatia ni kutoa pesa ya kulipa ukipata vitambulisho. Hiyo shilingi 300 ikitolewa, hao watu watapata vitambulisho mingi hadi atashinda ile mambo ya kule vetting.
All right, now today the world unites to celebrate International Women's Day in Kenya. Well, various events have been held across the country, and of course, with a resounding call to protect the girl child. As Quinto Wafula reports, the World Health Organization has emphasized the critical need to enhance healthcare services for women, aiming to lower maternal mortality rates. Take a look.
Homa Bay County played host to the national celebrations of honoring women. The chief guest, First Lady Rachel Ruto, highly praised women for their relentless efforts in making this country a better place.
The Kenya Kwanza administration is fully committed to ensuring that every woman in Kenya feels appreciated, wanted, and protected in our country.
This event was also graced by Ida Odinga, wife of former Prime Minister and Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, all of whom echoed the need to protect the girl child and ensure equal leadership opportunities in society.
Mmeshaona watoto 13 years wanapata watoto. Unakuta mtoto amezaa mtoto.
Women of the lake coming together under the patronage of Mama Dr. Ida Odinga to push forward how we can mitigate the issue of the triple threat.
In Machakos County, chaos erupted after a group of youths armed with machetes attacked women who were preparing for a peaceful march to protest land injustices against women in Mavoko.
As mwanaume anatutolea panga na kutuambia nitawafieka. I cannot have been a counselor in the UK, I have peace, and I come to my own country, I have war.
In Migori County, female inmates at Migori prisons were urged to accept their situation and take their rehabilitation positively as they plan for reintegration into their communities after completing their sentences.
Don't go back to crime so that we can make our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our daughters not to suffer.
As the world observes this day, the World Health Organization has called for improved healthcare services for women before, during, and after pregnancy. Statistics on maternal death show that women are at high risk, with key causes of maternal mortality including excessive bleeding, pre-existing health conditions, pregnancy-induced hypertension, unsafe and spontaneous abortions, blood clots in the lungs, severe infections, among other direct causes.
Yes, indeed, the girl child must be protected. Now, to matters health and universal health coverage, UHC is a program that has been adopted by successive governments, now each employing different strategies to facilitate its implementation. However, despite its ambitious vision, the initiative has seen minimal progress. Key challenges such as lack of political goodwill, financial constraints, inadequate human resources, and communication gaps have been identified as major obstacles to its success. So, what must Kenya do to ensure the successful implementation of this critical program? Well, our health and science reporter Elizabeth Atieno explores the path forward.
On the 12th of December 2012, the United Nations General Assembly endorsed a resolution on global health and foreign policy, urging countries to accelerate progress towards universal healthcare, UHC, to ensure that all people have access to the full range of quality, affordable, and accessible healthcare. Kenya, led by the then President Uhuru Kenyatta, launched the UHC program on the 12th of December 2018. The pilot was conducted in 4 counties of Isiolo, Kisumu, Machakos, and Nyeri. The pilot progress was then reviewed in October 2019, after which a national rollout was launched. Among the 55 recommendations suggested by Health Financing Reforms Experts Panel, appointed in 2018, was a legal framework within which NHIF operates to align its processes to UHC. Therefore, the NHIF Act of 1998 was amended and became law in 2022. The defunct NHIF had 14 million registered principal members and about 12.9 million dependents, translating to approximately 22.8 million beneficiaries. However, there were only 11.6 million active beneficiaries following the existing provision of voluntary membership for the informal sector. This equally posed a hurdle in the implementation of UHC, which required every Kenyan resident to be a registered beneficiary and contributor to the National Health Insurer.
NHI was not able to cater for the health of all Kenyans because it was only left to those who are earning through the payroll. But we know there are those people in business who are earning more than those in the payroll.
We have that culture that we don't value health insurance as a primary need and a primary within our budgets as Kenyans.
7 years later, and the UHC rollout dream appears to be a pipe dream, even with the launch of a new health scheme, SHA, rolled out in October 2024. The Ministry of Health has since maintained that they are on the right track towards implementing UHC.
It is not optional, but it is a must. Taifa Care has the potential to completely transform our health sector.
However, the UHC implementation in Kenya is faced with a wide funding gap. For instance, in the 2024-2025 budget, the health sector was allocated a total budget of 127 billion Kenya shillings, with 4.2 billion Kenya shillings allocated for UHC coordination and management unit.
The exchequer doesn't have the money, and so you're finding at times the hospitals are ceasing to offer SHA services. There are several other issues. So at times we just assume that it's not working, but there are several very definitive issues that are being tackled as they arise.
Another key challenge in the rollout of UHC is in human resource, considering the UHC health workers have spent most of their days in the streets protesting over poor working conditions as they demand to be employed on permanent and pensionable terms.
The other day it was UHC, yesterday it was clinical officers, tomorrow we don't know who else is coming. Kenyans out there are making a lot of noise about SHA and UHC. But the ministry seems, the ministry seems not to be moved.
Kenneth Njeru is a health expert and the director of Africa Afia Healthcare. He says the failure of UHC implementation is largely caused by the communication gap between the government and Kenyans, as well as political interference.
Think of it this way. Put yourself in the shoes of a common mananchi who doesn't understand the jargon, who doesn't understand how insurance works, and is just saying on the TV it's not working, and they were not going to get into details. So there is so much negative publicity on this system such that now people are not interested in contributing.
Even with the failure of UHC in countries like Kenya, countries as diverse as Rwanda, Brazil, France, Japan, Thailand, and Turkey have shown successful implementation of UHC.
We are comparing it to systems in other countries that have been there for decades. I mean, NHIF has been here for 5 decades. So why are we judging a system that's been here for 5 months and saying it's failed? It will take time, and there are several factors that play on, and they bring up a multiplying effect, so as it's struggling to reach its optimum performance.
In order to deliver on the UHC promise, the World Health Organization has urged countries to have strong, efficient, and equitable health systems that are rooted in the communities they serve, with primary healthcare cited as the most effective and cost-efficient way to get there. With the challenges currently facing the country's health sector, especially with the new health scheme, SHA, the question that now lingers in the minds of many is, will Kenya ever experience the successful implementation of UHC? Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
Elizabeth, thank you so much. You're so brilliant. You know, it's so nice to hear, there's a science, and health reporter. Thank you for that brilliant story, especially today. I mean, kudos to you. Okay, so today we are marking International Women's Day. And like I said, we still have time. It's until midnight. And there's such a beautiful, I just Googled something. I'm like, what is the most beautiful quote for women that I can actually share with you tonight? And let me just read it out. Now, may your courage and strength continue to inspire those around you. A woman's strength knows no bounds. Keep breaking the barriers and shining bright. Here's to strong women. May we know them. May we be them. May we raise them. Oh my goodness. Oh, just loving it so much. So guys, we have just finished the first part of the show, but maneno inakuja sasa. Let me tell you, in studio today, Ofone ketoka kwa simu. Honestly, you're on my show, please.
You are on. We love them. I was like, I'm gonna let you love them.
Wow. Just relax. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Pastor Sue. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Thank you. This is going to be a heavy one.
Yes.
Lakini Pastor Sue,
yes.
Makofi ni kama toa.
Ni toa. I want to apologize to my pastor that whatever comes out of my mouth today, this is how your tithe comes out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, let's take a short commercial break. We're back in a few minutes.
Wow.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side. of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget, regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age.
All right, and welcome back, welcome back. Now, let's just finish up with the first part, of course, the news part, and then we're going to get into that very interesting conversation with my two guests, Dr. Ofweneke and Pastor Sue. Oh my goodness, I'm too excited. I think it's because it's our day today. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the news. Now, as Kenyans join the global community in commemorating International Women's Day, the focus turned to the pressing need for gender equality. Now, listen, in 2022, there was a notable rise in the number of women contesting leadership positions compared to previous election years, with many achieving significant victories. As Rugaval reports, Vivian Okumu, a politician from Kibra, shares her perspective on the bitter challenges women are facing when vying for political seats, challenges rooted in societal biases against the gender.
This year's International Women's Day theme highlights the importance of gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls.
We'll be given like an equal grounds for us to like campaign and also us have elections, so that we demystify these issues of sexual favors, women being called flower girls every now and then.
In many societies, it is still considered taboo for a woman to boldly enter the political arena. Vivian Okumu, a 31-year-old from Kibra, shares her story, shedding light on the immense challenges women face when stepping into leadership contest.
It was my first time. The experience was not good because these are things I didn't experience previously. It really affected me as a person. It affected my family members, of which they were not ready into it. It really even affected my child.
For Vivian Okumu, the year 2022 was fraught with bitter challenges. She discovered that simply being a woman aspiring for leadership was seen as a crime. Beyond enduring insults and threats from fellow candidates, she faced horrifying threats of public violence, including rape, if she refused to withdraw from the Lindi Ward representative race in Kibra.
Or even saying that if you don't drop out of that race, we will sexually assault you. We know where your family lives. We will come for you.
The memory of these events leaves Vivian Okumu empathetic towards any woman aspiring to lead. However, she emphasizes that this is a societal issue that demands urgent solutions. Kenya's constitution mandates a 2/3 gender role in leadership within county and national assemblies, a provision that has brought significant progress. In the 2022 elections, 32 women contested gubernatorial positions, with 7 emerging victorious. Additionally, 29 women secured seats in parliament and 3 won senatorial positions. Rugaval, TV47.
Sports news brought to you by Maybet. Join Maybet leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1 au draw X au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako. Chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybet. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 0000578.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia.
right, we apologize for that slight delay. But moving on to some great news. The national under-17 women's football team, Junior Starlets, emerged victorious with a 2-0 win over Uganda in a World Cup qualifier held on Saturday evening at Nakivubo Stadium in Kampala. Now, striker Edina Nasipwondi opened the scoring in the 37th minute with forward Joan Ogola doubling the lead just before half-time. Now, the return leg is scheduled for next weekend in Nairobi, where the aggregate winner will progress to the third round of the qualification journey. Head coach Mildred Chache and her squad aim to secure a spot in the 2024 FIFA Women's Under-17 World Cup, set to be hosted in the Dominican Republic.
We have to plan effectively, because 2 goals is not enough to secure your qualification to the next round. So we have a hard task to ensure that we keep a clean sheet, we don't concede any goal at home, and probably add 1 more or 2 if possible.
Na tunajua haiendi kwa easy kwetu pia, and the game is not over. We know that venye wanaenda kuja home pia inaenda kwa haiendi kwa rahisi.
We knew we were going to be up against a World Cup team, of which 8 players were in the team from the World Cup. But I must be honest, I'm very proud of the goals. I thought we showed grit. I thought we showed fighting spirit. We wanted the goals. We wanted to fight. We were.
All right, a big congratulations to the Junior Starlets. Now, preparations are in full swing for the highly anticipated 2025 WRC Safari Rally, set to take place from March 20th to the 23rd in Naivasha, Nakuru County. Now, KCB Bank, as part of its commitment to sustainability, has intensified its environmental conservation efforts, integrating green initiatives into its motorsport sponsorship. KCB-sponsored driver Evans Kavisi, alongside rally star Tinashe Gatimu, has spearheaded environmental stewardship activities ahead of the iconic rally. A tree planting event was recently held at Karuri Primary School and Gashie High School in Nairobi. In 2025, KCB aims to plant 3,000 trees, building on its existing green legacy, over 100,000 trees planted since 2021.
Take care of the environment, and driving rally cars, of course, there's the carbon emissions and everything. So we also have to give back to the environment to make sure that we're all having fun, and also to teach these young kids that it's important that we look after where we are, and we continue to be good caregivers for the environment.
We have to worry, think, and care about the next generation. We have to worry and care about the sustainability of business. So for us, it's about climate action. It's also about quality education. The students here have a passion for environmental matters. So we are simply giving them a platform through which they can explore this passion that they have and take it to the next level.
All right, so we want to take another short commercial break, but we are coming back for a very interesting conversation really about celebrating women. We know Dr. Ofweneke, of course, is always supporting the boy child all the time, like on his Instagram. Oh my goodness. But you know what? At least we have Pastor Sue, who is all about, women empowerment and, everything that's nice. So don't go away. We're coming back with Say What?
I'm 42 years old. I'm a mother of 2 boys.
I'm 47.
Love, by the way, si kitu ati inakuwaga na age.
Because even idiots grow old.
Sasa unasikiaje ukisikia unaenda date?
Nasikia butterflies kwa tu wake.
Hapana, usisikie butterfly. Tunataka kadris Kenya kanaweza enda date.
Lazima utakaze.
Nashindwa huyu demo anakaaje.
He likes the short people, but mtu akuwa amebeba.
Ya kwanza, mwanaume anaweza chagua mtu msafi,
asikuwe na kipara ati azina cobalt.
Personally mimi niko na tabia mzuri, naweza hotspot zangu kaa yeye hana. Sijui kama tutengeneze roho ingine, sijui kama utavuja hii yangu. It's about to go down.
Siasa, mamlaka, sera na utawala. Nani hufaidika, nani hupoteza? Katika ulimwengu wa siasa, ukweli haufichiki. Lakini nani mwenye ukakamavu wa kusema? Tunauliza maswali magumu na pia majibu tunakuletea.
Hata Rigiji alituaibisha sana, acha nikuambie.
Unajua kweli ni kwamba Spika Wetangula alipigiwa kura na wabunge.
Huu ndio ukumbi, uga wa mijadala ya kitaifa, ulingo wa uchambuzi wa sera, kinamasi cha ukweli. Lakini siasa bila wewe haziwezekani. Ungana nasi katika ukumbi wa siasa kila siku ya Jumanne saa 1 kuendelea, na mimi rubani wako Elizabeth Motiko.
Do not take too much advice. Most people who have a lot of advice to give with few expectations generalize whatever they did. Don't overanalyze everything. I myself have been guilty of overthinking problems. Just build things and find out if they work. Ben Silberman, founder of Pinterest.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50 going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Oh my goodness, welcome back, guys. Okay, already here in studio, there's a heated conversation about how women these days just want to take care of their dogs and, you know, and everything. So let me, of course, officially introduce my guest, Pastor.
Wow.
It's so nice to see you
Wonderful,
again.
thank you.
We were together a few weeks ago for, for the Friday show.
Oh, yes.
But yani ulikuwa na maneno matamu.
Wonderful.
I was like, you have to come back.
Oh, thank
on a day
you.
like
This is the day.
I salute you.
Thank you also.
And you look really beautiful.
Wonderful, thank
How's
you so
Mzee?
much. Mzee is fine. I've taken good care of him, spiritually, psychologically, and physically.
Physically is important.
He's well, he's well.
Twa, twa, twa.
Twa, twa, twa. Yes.
Oh, because now I don't know who to ask you about. Okay, at least the baby.
No, I need to get a dog. So that you can be asking me about a dog. I need to get a dog.
But first of all, let me just say thank you for coming on the show. I think
Wonderful.
It's fun.
Wow.
Well, I was a little bit scared in the beginning.
Yes.
I was a little bit scared because the women don't like me that much these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because especially for Chamber, what I do on our sister radio station,
Yes.
I'm really very much pushing for the boy child agenda.
That's very
and
important.
I'm very pro. And I keep on telling women, this is not a gender war.
Yes.
All right? It's simply a campaign to bring back the man that you guys are asking for.
Wonderful.
Oh, actually, I like that.
I like that.
You guys ain't... You ain't what we want.
No, no.
Ain't what we're
also because, and Pastor Su, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
This is it, Betty. The man has never changed. Man is still the original manuscript from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woman is the one who keeps on changing, like an iOS updated software. Women keep on updating with season and time.
True.
Men have remained the same ever since.
But Pastor, so let me tell you, these men, they want us to be baby, not carried around.
Oh yes.
So when you say you guys have not changed,
no. A man
you guys are sweethearts.
is based on who raised him up.
It is true.
Okay.
All right? Because a man is a product of a script he's either copying or a script that is not there for him to copy.
Okay.
So many women are dealing with demons that doesn't know it's a demon.
Oh, that's strong. Okay, that's
strong.
Wow.
Okay, let me slow down.
That's really strong. Chill out. It's our day of fornicate for crying out loud.
Okay, let me take a chill on it.
But I just want to say, because today, I mean, there's so many things we can talk about and even celebrating them. First of all, what does this day mean to you? Does it even mean anything? And what is it? Why is it important to celebrate women?
Wow, it means a lot to every woman globally. Because this is the day we celebrate women's achievements.
Yes.
And one of the greatest achievements that we have seen with the women is economical.
Yes.
Women have had a very great impact in the economical growth of any country, of which we are in Kenya now. And we know that there are so many women who are actually have employed so many people in their companies, in their places of work. We want to celebrate every woman who does even the small thing, even the Kibada woman. We want to tell you congratulations. Number two thing, we need to celebrate women culturally. There are women who have made sure that the culture, the African culture, which is good, is still sustained, you know, by teaching their children what should a man be and what should a woman be. And I think for me, that one is a big up for the women. We also celebrate, you know, the political achievements of women. In this country and in Africa, we are seeing women rising up and becoming great leaders. And you can tell that there is a space that had been, you know, left out, but the women have now come in very strongly. I also want to celebrate every woman who has also, you know, played a very important role in the spiritual arena. We are now seeing women being archbishops, bishops, pastors, and they're being and they're being listened to. They are directing the society in the right direction. And for me, a woman is a very wonderful woman. And this woman, if for her she's gonna be great and become powerful, she must understand her making. The way Funeke is saying that a woman has 4 wombs, men have 3 wombs. Very important.
We got a womb.
Wow, you got a womb.
None of the cravings at times.
Yes, men have wombs.
So we are the 3. Oh God.
Wow. Yes, and this is very important. And God ensured that a woman has an extra womb that a man does not have. Men have 3 wombs, women have 4 wombs. When we talk about these wombs, number one of the womb that is in a man and a woman is the intellectual womb. This is the womb that made you go to primary, secondary, you know, campus, whatever, anything that a woman does or a man does, that is driven by intellectual womb. So we need to understand that the more you are exposed to knowledge, and that's why education is very important. It can expand your your intellectual womb. It has no limit to what it can become. That's why most of us, whatever we studied in colleges, in campus, that's not what we do. Why? The intellectual womb is able to see a space and enter in it. Every man and woman has that capacity. The second womb is the emotional womb. This is the womb that is responsible for relationship and marriage.
Tell us.
That's so deep. We need a whole day to dissect that.
Can we close that womb? Is there a way we can do a closing ceremony? Because I feel like that womb. Your womb in a tuua. We are situated sana. Until the other day when the boyfriend came in.
Yes.
Huyu womb yake kulikuwa na compartments za mende, compartments za mimi wanaweza toa hiyo womb.
Na saa hiyo Funeke.
Saa hii yangu hata sihitaji. But then I am advertising anybody who needs an emotional womb.
Yes.
I am ready to sell it even for science experiment. Chiroma kujeni. See,
emotional womb then inasumbua watu.
Is very important.
Why?
Yeah, because it's responsible for relationship. Remember, every human being.
Can it be responsible? Can it make it responsible? We don't need to be responsible anymore.
You know this womb
Remember,
every human being is a relational being. You can't just live by yourself. You need to relate with other people effectively. And so this emotional womb is very responsible for relationship and marriage. But if that womb is not healthy, you're going to be toxic. You're going to be, you know, bitterness, anger, you know, all these things that, that are negative. And all the things that are positive,
Toxic,
bitterness,
narcissistic. When you follow him on Instagram, oh my goodness.
No, this is the thing. Mom, let me explain yourself before you get to the third one.
Before the third one.
Yes.
Unajua hapa ni wa kisa wawili. Mluya wetu hakikaribia. This is the thing.
Yes.
The other day, I was also called for such a conversation.
Yes.
Like, Ofoneke, you speak, unless you're very high intellectually, you wouldn't get where, and thank you. You may not get what I'm driving.
Yes.
I am not against women.
No,
and I'm not bitter about anything.
Yes.
This is the thing.
Yes.
I'm just trying to open up the women's mind to start understanding who men really are.
Wow.
Is that so really?
All right? Because truth be told, you people don't know us.
What do you mean? People
let me tell you, no woman will ever understand a man. Don't tell us to be what you've never been.
Wow. That's amazing.
You get it?
Well,
you cannot tell me how to be a man because you have never been a man. I love the grace that God has put on you and your marriage. 25 years, that's amazing. But I can tell you...
Wewe hata 2 years ilikushinda.
Wewe yako zimekushinda ngapi? Mimi na wewe, you know, we are a mirror of each other. You are my spirit. Sasa juko in love hapa kwa bahati umevaa Cinderella. Me, I'm not embarrassed.
At least you know I was there, so you know. So it made you feel something.
Wow.
God forbid. In a pray kai.
Wewe ni wale watu ati mtaachana tu.
Me no, you are here. No, you are here. So
let's go back to these wombs.
Wow, these wombs are very important.
So what was I saying? Thought process. Yes. And then
the emotional womb is responsible for pleasurable feelings, and it's also responsible for hurting feelings.
Okay.
So when you say you are hurt, it is the emotional womb that is speaking. When you say you have been wounded, it is the emotional womb that is speaking in a man and a woman. So men also have an emotional womb that needs to be taken care of by the woman, and a man needs also to take care of the man's womb. And this womb is only driven by 2 wheels. One wheel is called kind words, and the second wheel is called kind action. If you are going to be unkind to any man or a woman, this womb it can become very toxic. And this is where you find narcissistic character in a woman, in a man manifesting.
Amen.
So we have to know. I agree with you. Women need to hear from men who are men, and men need to hear from a woman who are women.
Now,
that's very important.
Pastor Sue.
Yes, dear.
Let me say this. And this conversation has been there all over.
Yes.
And it's a current conversation in this generation.
Yes.
And you're being told, men, be vulnerable, cry, and everything. But the question, it's not even a question.
Yes.
My observation is the today woman has not been created to create a space for man to be vulnerable and vulnerable to them. And I've been telling women, if until now you've never seen the tears of your man, then that man has not loved you enough. Because when a man loves enough, then he lets go of everything. He lets
the right person.
Yes, when the right person comes,
and the right
the man will let go. You get? But many women have not been taught or have not gained enough emotional intelligence to know how to handle a man that is vulnerable.
I agree with you.
Right?
I agree.
But I want to hear from Pastor Sue. Have you ever seen Pastor Munene crying?
Yes, many times.
You've seen him cry?
Yeah,
so
he has.
So whatever Ofoneke is saying.
And when he's crying, it's not those tears that he comes and he just holds me tight. And I know at that time the emotional womb has been wounded. And I want to ask myself very fast, is it me who has contributed to this? And then I tell him, it shall be well. It is well. Just that word gives him comfort again, and then looks at me and he walks. So for men may not cry outward, tears, but you can feel from your spirit that this man has a very heavy, heart and mind that is actually crying for emotional attachment. And that's why now the candling comes in marriage, the holding comes in, even the kissing helps a lot to relieve the end of
kiss when you cry.
Yes, it's very powerful.
How do you kiss somebody when you cry?
Those are the best.
Emotional handle emotionally. You don't now involve in your intelligence because you're gonna lose this person. So you just stand there, don't say many things for a man. A man just wants you to stand by them. Women can yell, they can scream, and then don't worry, you can now pick things. But a man will be silent. And when he's silent, just give him that touch. And by the end of the day, you find this man he corrects himself and comes back again. The third wound that is very important.
Yeah, we need to finish the wounds because we need to go back to
wound is the most profound wound.
Yes.
Womb, the spiritual womb. It is what drives a man.
Relax, Ofu.
The spiritual womb, when it is strong, I tell you, that man is dependently dangerous. That woman is dependently dangerous. Because the state of your spiritual womb is the state of your speech, is the state of your mindset, is the state of your actions.
Okay, break it down for us.
The spiritual womb is the part in you that contacts God. You see, God, you don't contact God with your mind. We contact God with our human spirit. There's a part in us. That's why the image of God is the human spirit in a person. You can't see it with your optical eye, neither can you touch it with your hands, but that is the real you. This part called the spiritual womb, that is the part that is the anchor, the foundation of the intellectual womb and the emotional womb. So when the spiritual womb has a defect, is leaking, everything else about you will leak. That's why it is told, guard your heart, guard that spirit man with all diligence, because out of that spirit womb comes out issues of life.
Pastor Sue,
wonderful.
The other day,
this womb needs God's word. This womb needs the right inspiration.
Meditate
on the word
day and night.
And you do it in 4 ways. Listen to this, sir. For you to grow in your spiritual womb, you need 3 W's. The first W, you must meditate on God's word, God's works, God's will, and God's ways. Powerful. You become independently dangerous.
I think
nothing can shake you as a woman.
You need a private session.
Now, let me just stop something.
No, but you see, we have to go back to the women, because you see the conversation about women. They always
see, women, this W is for women, is for womb.
Relax.
I love that.
We are in the spirit.
We are in the spirit.
As we get to that.
Okay, I need to tell my audience something. Wait. I'm seeing a lot of comments on WhatsApp, please. We are hearing you two at home, because hapa Ofuenika amekuja therapy. Lakini, okay, there's somebody here. And we have to go back to the women, and we have to also listen to what our viewers are saying. Somebody's saying women are hard to be understood. You buy her address, hajaivata, again you're with her in town, she wants another one. So there are a lot of comments here about men who are trying to understand what their women want. And because it's that is our topic for today. Chafuta time uende ongea na pasi
uende cheki point yangu ilikuwa contribute because
hata sign language amehepa
itakusaidia, by the way, itakusaidia.
Mbona niingilia kila
zile ziko kwa nyuma kati hatujui. This is the thing that on that point, because you're sorry, because the other day I was in prayer. I was doing the Hallelujah challenge. And that God was just telling me. He's telling me that unless the two of you submit to the same altar, a marriage will break. So if you're going to be devil worshippers, be devil worshippers
together.
Wow.
If you're going to be witches, both of you. But if you're going to submit on the godly altar, because Many people say, I pray, but my husband doesn't pray. What does my marriage, and I live in church, I pray every single day, I have a whole routine of praying. It's because when you're praying alone. Yes, it works out for around 24, 48 hours. But the devil comes back and finds there's a dry space. Because the two of you have not agreed to submit to the same altar.
Why? Because of the spiritual womb.
Thank you.
You see now how the spiritual womb plays a very important role.
You see, in
Okay, all right, there we go.
Branch gani nichukue ya kanisa, nichukue branch ya Mombasa.
Ya Mombasa.
But then you should have just been a pastor. Unajua, and just get yourself a pastor
classes. I'm doing theology classes.
You need you first of all you need a private session with Pastor Sue.
Oh yes.
Because you look like you really need help.
I am healed.
All right, so
I am healed.
No, you're healed. Amen.
Wow.
Now, Sepa nasema Betty show in a BAMBA sana. Thank you, of course.
Yes.
We have two amazing guys.
Yes.
But of course, the Pastor Sue sana.
Yes.
I want us to look at, because today we're trying to celebrate women.
Yes.
And you have a problem with that.
No house can stand without a masculine, a man as a cover.
Yes.
I am the cover of this show.
Pastor,
you are the cover.
You indeed. Pastor, so let me ask you, why do men like maybe Ofweneke and so many others, even today coming to work, I've asked a number of people, leo ni international, ata salamu, ata maua or anything. And they're like, no, these women, we are celebrating these women too much.
Yes.
They don't even celebrate us on Men's Day.
Men's Day is actually, Men's Day, you know, Women's Day is on its own.
Yes.
It is celebrated on its own. It's a beautiful special day.
Yes.
International, globally recognized.
Yes.
It's unfortunate for us men. Men's Day has been coincided with World Toilets Day. Do you know how painful that is?
Which is so true.
It is, yes, siku ya wanaume ni siku ya choo. So I'm like, even the world itself.
Hata waongeza hand washing.
Hata I will make hand washing. Go siku ya wanaume bado osha mikono. It's like when you touch a man, you get germs. It's like, you know, it's like, you think of a man, you think toilet paper.
Well, we love our men. We love our brothers, our husbands. I'm sorry. I want us to bring up some graphics over here.
Yes.
Just to direct our conversation, just a little bit. Manu, if you can give me those graphics right now. They were really interesting because if you look at the traditional, okay, let's see. There we go. And you can actually call in. There's a number there. Okay, fine. So these are the things that women, traditional women, actually want, a provider, a protector, a warrior, a mishale, all types, leader, firm, masculine, bold, and somebody who also takes risks.
Yes.
Right? I think they sound good. This is a traditional man and modern and a modern man.
Now why I'm single, because all this is
you
me,
don't have,
and nobody can handle me.
Because you don't have a protect. You're not a warrior, are you?
No, but I protect my family, my daughters.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
At least those ones you protect. I'm
not like supposed to walk around with a shield and gao and
maybe that's what you want.
Mdunga everybody maybe
that's what we want. Okay. This is another now traditional man. He cares for his family, larger than the woman, a builder, a creator, calm and grounded, and they prioritize marriage, right? And this is the source from a book by Jacob Elliott. It's really interesting. Let's just go back to the next to the other modernized woman, and you see how their priorities have actually changed. All right, so this traditional woman cooks and cleans, natural, homemaker, orderly, and strict feminine, and very demure. And then the next one, if we could just quickly go to that. Okay, there we go. And remember, you can also just call in and talk to us. The traditional woman also cares for the family, smaller than the man, wants a family calm, wise, and grounded, happy, and connected, right? And these are the things that you can see from yani wale wanawake, yani wale traditional women. All right. If we have other graphics, all right, let's do that. Now, hapa ndo sama nene naribika. Modern westernized woman. Hey, Pastor Sue angalia. This one can't cook or clean, not submissive, and also competes with the man.
Yes.
Stop clicking.
Bure.
Is loud, disagreeable. She cares for herself, her dog. Look at that. So you can see, Pastor Sue, the differences about that traditional woman.
Yes.
Ule likonga anapika anaamka nuyo na kuni.
Yes.
Nuyo ameenda amefanya hiyo twa from morning to evening. And lakini we modernize hataki hizo vitu.
Yes.
She can't cook and clean. But you see, this is what the people actually saying. Women actually want to be like that modernized woman. So how do you even bring a balance? Ndo kwe traditional na pia ukwe modernized.
Yes.
Unataka nini wenda kurudi kuisero?
Unaona modern woman ameniudhi. Wewe modern woman amenibo. What women don't understand is, and this one I will balance the conversation.
Yes.
Submission is not slavery.
It's not.
And
No,
what the traditional woman did was total submission.
Yeah.
Yes.
You submitted to the leadership of this man, right?
Preach.
But then again, my fellow men must be able to provide the environment for a woman that is safe enough for a woman to submit.
Oh yes.
That one point, that one out of the case.
I like that. Now we're going somewhere.
No, we're good. That's something I'm a healed man. The problem is I am so much of that traditional man that I cannot find a woman now that can handle this man. You get? Mom,
Yes.
my mother has been a housewife for the longest time.
Yes.
I have never had my father tell my mom, Stella, toka pia ukatafuta kama vile mimi natafuta. Right now we're from celebrating my daughter's graduation, my young sister's graduation party.
Wow.
My mom is going back to Huisero by morning, Monday in the morning.
Yes.
Kuchunga kuku zake ng'ombe nini. My dad works in Nairobi, he's okay.
Yes.
But your dad is a nice guy.
And you know him. You
Very
get
nice gentleman.
And this is the thing, is because the reason why I don't have an issue with taking care of a woman in the house, because I've seen my dad do it.
Wonderful.
Women were not born to take care of themselves.
It is true.
That's why when the day you guys pay rent, fees, you shout on the internet.
It is true.
But a man doesn't shout because the system was preset that we are supposed
From the
to do
beginning.
what, all right? But while I am trying to provide leadership in every way for us, the best you can do is now play your role. All I'm asking for, kwani managu, kwani saga, ugali ya wimbi, make sure the house is clean.
Yes.
A simple text of, babe, how's your day going on?
Yes.
I have a crazy schedule myself. A text of checking up on this guy.
Yes.
How much is it going to cost? So would you rather join a gossip WhatsApp group with you and your girls than text your man off, babe, I am proud of you.
Wow. I love that.
Okay. All right.
And this is why this modern woman will forever remain single until 40-something. Then we'll start rushing to conferences of pastors from Nigeria, shouting to God, God deliver my man. Because when you get to 40 now, you're not giving God a list.
Yes.
You're telling God, any man that is breathing.
Now some of us are heading to...
Because at 40, that's when now you realize, by the way, I need.
Yes.
I want to hear from Pastor. How do you balance, how do you become that traditional, also with a little bit of modernization, you know, the confidence, the allure, but still maintaining, I'm still a nice, I can cook.
I think I want to go back again to what we began. The greatest challenge of the modern woman is the spiritual womb. When the spiritual womb is not okay in a woman, in other words, the word of God is not controlling your thinking, it becomes a challenge because you are now comparing yourself with the trends of the world, and also at the same time you are also, you know, fighting what is meant to be for the woman. I want to say this: the spiritual womb is very important, and I want to echo what you have said.
Yes, ma'am.
A woman cannot submit to a man if that woman is not submitted to God fully. Because submission comes from a higher authority for you to be able to submit. And the reason why a woman is told to submit, it is because you have this great power, influence that God has put in you, that this power needs to be under subjection of a man. Otherwise, that influence can explode. So this woman who is being told to submit, it is because of the creativity in a woman. Remember, the wiring of the brain of a woman is a spaghetti that is cooked. The wiring of a man, the way biologically a man is made in boxes. So he has a box for the wife, for the children, for the work. Everything in a man is a box. But a woman is a spaghetti. And because of a woman being an emotional being, there's a lot a woman can do. That's why women can multitask. But a man will do one thing at a time and do it perfectly. So because of that multifaceted ability of a woman, this power needs to be controlled by someone who is also powerful, who is a man. And so a husband also cannot be able to love the wife genuinely from his heart if he is also not submitted to God, a deity. Because love flows from that deity to the man and to the wife, and he's not told to give conditions, because the person who's gonna hurt you most is a woman. The person who's gonna hurt you most is your man. And so these two people, if their spiritual life is not well connected individually, before they meet, we're going to have a challenge in the physical, because the state of your heart is the state of your speech. The condition of your heart is the condition of your marriage. So it is all about the inward person. And so when I, like for me, I work in a hospital. I'm a medic. I'm always treating patients morning till evening. You get the point. But when I get into the house, I have a chef who cooks food. I want to go and see how has he cooked. Has he cooked? Because I may not have time to cook. But if Pastor Munena is there, I'm going to serve him. If the food is there, sometimes he says, I'm going to serve myself. But I know what is being cooked. I may not wash clothes, but I'll make sure his clothes are ironed, they are put well, his shoes are well. I make sure I supervise that. You're getting that? At the same time, I make sure I create time for him. Every day, we must look at each other. 15 to 20 minutes without a phone, and we are not talking. We are connecting eye to eye.
That's a bit awkward.
Very powerful. Yes, we just 20 minutes for each other. It's so powerful.
Sue, that's a long time.
No,
to talk to somebody not
15
talking.
minutes. It's so sweet when you begin it. Begin and you just do this. You get that? Number 2 thing, ask him very simple questions. Darling, how was your day? And he's gonna give you a headline of the day.
All these things.
Yes, these things, we are intentional. There is no marriage that works if you guys are not intentional.
But you see what you've said.
You've got to be very intentional.
Darling.
Yes.
Darling.
Yes. My Lord. In fact, I call him my Lord.
Now,
my Lord, my pastor.
Do you know why that statement is correct?
Yes.
Let me tell you, most of the time, 100%, women are right.
Yes.
I will go on behalf of men. The problem is not the words you use. The problem has always been the tone, that you use.
The tone.
The tone has to be from a place of
submission.
Exactly.
Why? I want to talk that biologically. Let me put it this way. The way God has created the human brain, the part that receives information is the frontal cortex. This part. That's why all lecturers stand, or teachers stand in front of the students and they give information. The part when any man and any woman does not feel secure and does not feel safe, the part that is engaged to receive information is the middle part of the ear called amygdala. This part deals with flight, deals with fear, deals with insecurity. And that's why I agree with you 100%. Tone is key. Tone is key.
When was the last time
you must have
this your
when was the last time you addressed your man from a kingly
position? It's very important. Very important.
Okay.
Even in my phone is my Lord, my pastor.
My Lord. I'm changing
my
mine right
Lord
now.
Is my Lord, my pastor.
A man is not your age mate.
Yes. You can be age mate, but you are not grace mate. You are not grace mate. Because you are covering.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I can even be older than him. But the way God has put order for marriage and relationship to be, the man is the head. Not the head because he has a better head than me, but because there must be hierarchy and order in that family.
With the anointing. Let me add something.
Yes, add something.
Now,
we have to wrap up now.
Yes.
We have to wrap up.
No, this is supporting. Now, let me tell you, man.
Yes,
you go to
the day you understand God is the day you understand
your man and you understand a woman also.
The Bible says in the book of Psalms, enter his courts with praise.
Yes.
Enter those with thanksgiving. When you learn how to come with thanksgiving to your man, when you learn, women, when was the last time you are busy insulting Ugandan women? Yet we have. When was the last time you call it my Lord? Will you eat or will you eat fast?
Yes,
bro.
And you see what?
Listen
to this. Submission to a man is not your place of weakness. It is your place of strength as a woman.
Funge show.
Ofu, talk up. Talk up.
At this point,
out.
We might be age mates, but you are not grace mates. God damn.
Get out of here. Pastor Su, stand here.
Yes,
we know our time is over. Don't come here.
Wow.
Listen.
Amazing. Wow, what a
no,
show.
that was powerful.
That was
Ofu,
powerful.
don't come here. Please go home. Now.
Yes, dear.
It is our day. That's why I had to chase this guy away.
Yes.
I want you to wind up the show for us.
Yes.
And, with a message of strength.
Yeah.
To any woman who's watching, maybe to Mecheka, they've felt some sort of healing.
Yes.
But what is it that you can say to women who are watching? A message of strength.
Wow. I want to speak to every woman who is listening to us. And I want to just define what the word woman does with a few seconds. The word W means a wise woman. Women, we must invest in knowledge. We must invest in empowerment, and especially so, our spirit man, and get the right friendship. People can build us holistically. And then, number 2, O means she must be organized. This is not a woman, you're going to find her everywhere. This woman must be organized in her mind, in her spirit, and in her emotional womb to make sure that her family gets, or your life gets the right track as you move on in the course of life. Number 3, M. It means that a woman must mature. You must mature. And how do you mature? Having the right knowledge, having the right, people who surround you to give you positive inspiration that can make you a better woman. And the greatest gift that a woman has been given is her heart. A woman hears with her heart. We don't hear with our ears. And men need to understand that. And then the E means a woman. A means you have to be active, man. Economically.
Yeah? Oh,
socially.
economically.
Do something.
Oh, great.
Do something. You must be active to make sure there's something you are bringing into your life and into this institution called marriage. And what? N. N means what? It's the last one?
It's the last one. Woman.
Wow, you are a nurturer. You nurture the children. You nurture every person who comes along you. They must feel important. And I want to let every woman know you are the last creature that God created. And so you are beautiful in your mind. You are beautiful in your emotions. You are beautiful in the heart. And you are beautiful physically. And so a woman must be confident to come out no matter the oppositions you get online. Stand up in your space. Because no one has what you have. You came in this world to bring a change. Let the change be felt. Wow.
Preach! That was powerful. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys, I hope every woman has felt that, because I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I wish we had more time like always. But it was such an honor having you on the show on a day like today. I'm sure we'll have you back so many times here on Say What. The show is called Say What?
Say what?
Say what?
Yes.
All right, so to every woman, happy International Women's Day, and we just feel appreciated. Thank you for watching the show, and Pastor Su, you are just so amazing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.